What's up? What's happening? You already know who it is and what it is. It's your boy Q Walker, aka Nephew Q, host of the world's most dangerous sports show, Beyond the Game. Here to do an episode about the fans in the stands. But before I get into all of that, I just want to let everybody know that today's show is sponsored by Black Vultures Clothing. I'm gonna put it down there at the bottom. Make sure you go to www.blackvulturesclothing.com. The summertime's coming up. Get your 4th of July fit, or you can get your Father's Day fit for somebody, or maybe a Father's Day gift for yourself. But make sure you shop at www.blackvulturesclothing.com. Now let's get back on into the show. So I wanted to do today's show to address the fans in the stands and where we're at with it today, man. So like I wanted to do this show because of the incident that happened the other day with Chris Paul's family. A fan in the stand was inappropriately touching Chris Paul's mother and his wife. They haven't disclosed exactly what the inappropriate touching was, but regardless, no fan should be touching another fan, let alone athlete's family that is out there playing, because now that athlete can't even concentrate on the game because now they got to focus on their family member getting harassed up in the stands. And that family member came out there to cheer on their uncle, brother, cousin, dad, nephew, if it's a woman's sport, a aunt, a mom, a cousin, a sister. They didn't come out there to that sport to get harassed and inappropriately touched and things of that nature. So I just want to talk about the fans and where they're at. Now, it's about to be tricky because, you know, these players, they get fined when they say something inappropriate to a fan. But these fans feel like they can say and do whatever to these athletes and reap no consequences outside of maybe getting banned from the arena if they get caught, or getting escorted off the premises if they get caught. I know here recently, Russell Westbrook has had a couple of fans escorted out of the premises. I think in the Utah Jazz, he had a fan or two escorted out of the building. LeBron James has even had a fan escorted out of the building. I think it was last season. Maybe it might have even been this season, but I think it was last season that LeBron James had that female escorted off the premises at the Atlanta Hawks arena. But these fans are starting to get out of hand. And before I get into all of that, I'm not talking about, you know, fans trash talking. Like, I don't even care about that type of shit, because to me personally, these players probably hear worse trash talk in their field of play than they do from in the stands from anybody. Because, I mean, think about it like this. You know, if you got a guy like KD who's giving somebody 40 on that night, KD may be trash talking to the guy that's guarding him worse than anything anybody in the stands could be saying. Or if KD's not saying anything to the guy guarding him, KD's teammate might be, oh, bro, KD, he cannot guard. Keep going at him, bust his ass. You know what I'm saying? That type of stuff. So to me personally, I feel like if you played on the blacktop, you know how it goes. There's so much trash talking going out there, and anything goes except for family. Like, family is off limits, but everything within them confines of them lines is within the limits. And I feel like they hear worse on the court than they probably do in the stands. But I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about the fans who feel like they need to start hurling racial slurs at players, or inappropriate touching the family members that are there, or harassing the players' family members who are in the stands and can't even enjoy the game because they're getting harassed. And what these fans fail to realize is that this is entertainment, bruh. Like, this ain't real life what we're watching on TV. Nobody's living a dime based on these games unless you bet something crazy. But within the game, nobody's life is on the line. These guys will play for 2 to 3 hours, entertain us, and go back to their regular lives. You know, we as people forget that these players are just regular people like ourselves. We think that just because these guys are celebrities or athletes, that they're above trials and tribulations of life. And I'm gonna get into that in a second. And what's about to happen is these commissioners of these leagues better start doing something, and doing something soon, or one of these fans is going to catch the wrong player on the wrong day going through the wrong situation, and he is going to go up in the stands and slap the hell out of one of these fans. And I kind of feel like that's what some of these fans want, so they can get their 15 minutes of fame and sue the player and sue the NBA or sue the NFL or sue whatever genre of sport that they're at. I feel like that's a lot of what they want to do, because we both know, me and you watching this or me and you listening to this, that if a fan was saying something crazy and ridiculous to the athlete that's on the floor, if they seen that same athlete at Walmart or any of these stores, they would do one of two things. They would ask for an autograph, or they would ask for a picture. But you was just the same fan up in the stands hurling racial slurs at me. You know what I'm saying? But now you want a picture or an autograph? Like, that's where we're at with it. And these fans feel like, because they spend X amount of dollars, that they can just say whatever the hell they feel like saying to these players. And truth be told, I feel like a lot of these fans only say shit just to get the players' attention, because they feel like, ooh, if I can say something that'll get underneath his skin and say something back to me, then I can show all of my friends, like, look what Kevin Durant said to me. Look what LeBron said to me. Look what Westbrook said to me. Look what AD, Kyrie, blah, blah, blah. Look what these guys said to me. I called him a bitch, but look what he said back to me. You see what I'm saying? Like, a lot of these fans say it just for the justification of having a player speak back to them. You know what I'm saying? And like I was saying before, is that what's going to happen? I'm not saying a prominent star, superstar, all-star, or anything like that. But it's going to take a player going through something, and he's going to hear something from a fan, and it is going to trigger him, and he is going to slap the hell out of that fan. Because like I was saying earlier, these athletes are just like us. They got trials and tribulations of things that they're going through, whether it be divorce, fighting for custody of their children, their mom's house foreclosing. Like these guys have issues and things that they go through in their lives just like we do. Like, you might be fighting with your girlfriend or your significant other and go to work, and you know how that feels. You can't even concentrate at work because you done argued with your significant other all night, and you still arguing with your significant other while you're at work, so you can't even concentrate on your work. We're asking these athletes to compartmentalize what's going on in their regular lives and come out here and entertain us for 2 to 3 hours. That is hard to do. You can't even do it at work. So imagine going to an athlete's place of business, and they got 20, 30,000 people screaming and yelling at them, and they're trying to get out of their mind of, damn, I might lose custody of my child after this. You see what I'm saying? Like, we got to sometimes, as fans, not me, but y'all motherfuckers, got to sometimes take a step back and realize who we talking to out here, because these guys and gals are going through trials and tribulations in life just like we are. Now, let's talk about these fans who feel like, oh, well, and think about it like this. Like, I'm going to stick to the NBA on this one, because the NBA is set up to where if you watch an NBA game, you see the coaching staff, you see the players, but before the coaching staff, you'll see the fans sitting beside the damn coaches. So a fan going to an NBA game could sit courtside and literally reach out and touch a damn player if they wanted to. That's how close they are to the action on the floor. And that's why I feel like Commissioner Adam Silver, especially in basketball, more so than any other sport because they're so close, is going to have to do something. Because what Adam Silver doesn't want is for another Malice at the Palace situation. And if he continues to let things like this escalate, it's going to eventually come to a head. And also, like, these analysts and commentators who are on mainstream TV, guys like Skip Bayless, let's just call them who they are. Guys like Skip Bayless, who are helping empower some of these fans. And what I mean by that is, Skip Bayless will come up with a nickname like Russell Westbrook. It's catchy, it's trendy. I get it. But when you start calling this man this name every single day on TV, these fans feel like, well, hell, I can call him that too. Now, I don't have a problem with, the last name Westbrook. I don't have a problem with it. My whole thing is that it's now become from a joke to being disrespectful. And when guys like Skip Bayless get on TV, now it's not a joke. You know what I'm saying? Now they're making fun of this dude, how he's playing. And I feel like, okay, if you want to criticize him based on his play, have at it. Like, he statistically had one of the worst seasons of his NBA career. So if you want to judge, criticize his game on that, fine. If you want to call him West Brick because of how he's playing when you're criticizing him as a joke, I'm cool with that. But now these guys like Skip Bayless have made it a point to call him this name every single show. So now it's not a joke. Now it's not funny. Now it's borderline disrespectful. And that's what Westbrook, I'm sorry, that was Westbrook. That's what he was coming out and saying, as far as like his family can't even go to, he doesn't even want to bring his family to the game and things of that nature because of the things that people are saying to his family. Like, that's when the NBA needs to step in, because the family has not a damn thing to do with what's going on the court. The NBA needs to protect these family members, whether it be with personal security, arena security, or team security. Something needs to be done to protect the family members who are attending these games, because they ain't got shit to do with what's going on. Yeah, you can have a good time with the family members, go back and forth, trash talk. I'm not saying you can't do that, but when it starts to get to inappropriate touching and racial slurs and things of that nature, now they cross the line. And you have a guy like, let's say for instance, Chris Bosh. When Skip Bayless was on First Take, he used to call him Bosh Spice all the time. That has nothing to do with basketball. Like, that's disrespectful. Now you're calling a grown man a female moniker. Now you're crossing the line. And Skip Bayless thinks it's okay. You know what I'm saying? Because he thinks it's funny and catchy. Bruh, that man has a last name of Bosh, and he's a grown man. Why are you calling this grown man a female? Like, you know what I'm saying? So people have to hold Skip Bayless accountable too for the things that he's saying. Like, yeah, if you want to throw out a joke about a player's name, that's one thing. Like, Westbrook, man, you see Westbrook right there? Okay, that's fine. Like Chris Bosh, like the Bosh Spice thing, it was taking it too far and a whole nother level. And Chris Bosh came on First Take and addressed Skip Bayless about that, and Skip Bayless backed off and stopped calling him that. And with the Russell Westbrook thing, his wife, her and Skip Bayless went back and forth on Twitter for a little bit about the situation, because she was standing up and defending her man, as she should have, as a good wife, because she was tired of it, because now it's affecting her kids and her life, because this man made one joke and took that joke and ran with it, and now everybody is calling Russell Westbrook Westbrick as a joke. Like, he's a joke now. You know what I'm saying? So guys like Skip Bayless, make jokes. If you want to make jokes, fine, that's cool. You want to criticize, but make it about the game and not about the player. And too many times, people like Skip Bayless cross that line, and it's helping empower these fans, because they see it as, oh, well, Skip Bayless calls him this all the time. I'm going to call him that now. You see what I'm saying? So now you're the fans, where's Brick? And even to me, I feel like that's not that big of a deal. But if it bothers that man, then Skip Bayless has to take a step back and be like, okay, well, if it's bothering him and it's bothering his family, let me chill out on this. No, it only makes people like Skip Bayless go harder and want to keep calling him. Now that he knows that it's getting on his nerves, Skip Bayless is going to do it even more now. And now every arena is calling this man Russell Westbrook based upon his play. And guys like Shannon Sharp, I was kind of disappointed in Shannon. He was saying, oh, well, all Russell has to do is play better. You don't think Russell ain't trying to play better? He was just having a badass season. But that doesn't mean the guy wasn't trying to play well. He was just not comfortable within that system. But that's neither here nor there. But you don't think Russell was trying out there? You know what I'm saying? It's just he had an off season. He had a bad season. But back to the people and the fans in the stands. What's going to happen is that it's going to take a superstar to do something crazy, because a superstar is the one who can afford to miss games and miss money. And what I mean by that is you have these guys making 44, 47, et cetera, $1 million, versus the 10th, 11th, 12th guy on the bench who's making, anywhere between 5 to 10, which is still a lot of money. But if he goes up in the stands and smacks a fan or whatever, he's gone from the NBA for good. Like, they're not going to let Buddy back in. But if you have a prominent superstar, all-star, type of player go in the stands and address a fan, the NBA is going to be caught in a conundrum, because now they're like, oh shit, so what do we do? Like, do we suspend them for the season? But you can't blame nobody but yourself, the NBA, because you've let this issue and this problem drag on for so long without doing anything. And you have players like, we'll switch topics, we'll switch to baseball. You have these baseball players who hate going to Fenway Park because in the outfield, it's notoriously known that the fans out there hurl racial slurs at the players in the outfield. So players hate playing there, not because of the fans, but because of what the fans are saying to these players with the racial slurs and things of that nature. And like I mentioned earlier, you have a lot of the older school players saying, oh man, you know, these guys just need to toughen up. You know what I'm saying? We've been through it before. These guys is not new. Yeah, that's true to a certain extent. These guys today are maybe doing things that maybe the older generation wish they could have said, wish they could have done to these fans in the stands. You see what I'm saying? So I feel like the older generation needs to embrace what these younger cats are doing by standing up and saying, no, we're not taking this shit from these fans no more. They're not just gonna come in here and say whatever and do whatever, and we just continue to play and just go on. But no. We're here to entertain you. Boo me, talk trash, talk shit to me, do all of that. All of that is within the bounds. Like, all of that is fair game. But when you go to harassing family members, touching family members, and hurling out racial slurs, then that's when all this shit gotta stop. And these players are finally standing up to it and saying, no, we're not taking this no more. Whatever you say to me, I'm saying it right back to you, and this whatever. You know what I'm saying? And now these NBA players are like, oh, we'll take a fine. I'll eat a fine, but you gonna hear what I got to say. So the NBA, NFL, Major League Baseball, they better use this Chris Paul incident as an example and nip this shit in the bud really quick before it gets really bad, really fast. Because I'm telling you, the fans that see nothing happen to the fans that disrespect these players and disrespect these players' families, it's only going to continue to empower them. Like, oh, well, shit. Buddy's on ESPN. Buddy's on Fox Sports News. Buddy's on this, that, and the third. So now these fans are like, well, shit, I want my 15 minutes of fame too. Oh, LeBron James, you gay. LeBron James, you this. They're going to say any and everything to get that player's attention so he can respond back to them so they can get their fucking 15 minutes of fame. And it kills me that these fans, once they get caught doing something, all of them have the same reaction. What I do? What I say? What I ain't even say nothing. I ain't even do nothing. But they got 75,000 cameras in these arenas that catch everything. But for some odd reason, this fan thinks that they didn't do nothing. That the player is just picking on them for something for no damn reason. Nah, bro, they heard and seen what you said. So that's my take on this whole thing about the about the fans in the stands. These leagues, MLB, NBA, NFL, you better nip this shit in the bud. Especially, I'm specifically talking to the NBA, because the NBA fans are right there within arm's length of the players. Adam Silver, you better do something quick. Get with the players union, come up with a plan for next season, and put it in place to where if a fan does X, Y, and Z, they are automatically banned for life. It will cut out a lot of that shit. And if anything comes as far as inappropriate touching of a family member or things of that nature, automatic, we're going to court. No questions asked. No nothing. So you better get your lawyer. You better have a lawyer on retainer, because we're automatically going to court. And then that's going to stop a lot of shit being done to these players' families, because like I said earlier, these players' family ain't got shit to do with what's going on the court. So why are you harassing them? Talk trash to them. Talk shit to them, especially if they going back and forth with you. Talk trash to them. Have a good time. But leave it at that. Don't take it nowhere else where it don't need to go to. You know what I'm saying? So y'all let me know what y'all thoughts are about these fans in the stands. Have they gone too far? Do you think that these players are just too soft nowadays, and the fans have always been like this, so the players should just adjust and shut up and just play the sport? Let me know what y'all think about what I said in these comments. Let me know if y'all think the NBA players are soft, or have the fans gone over the line. But anyways, this is your boy Q Walker. And also make sure you like, share, and subscribe to the YouTube channel. If you can't watch us on YouTube, make sure you download the Beyond the Game Game app on your Amazon Fire Stick. If you can't sit down and watch the show on your Amazon Fire Stick or on YouTube, you can always listen to us on all major podcast streaming platforms. And also, make sure you download the Beyond the Game app on your Amazon on your Android or your iPhone, so you can get notifications every time a show drops, so you can be up to date on everything we got going on in Beyond the Game. So anyways, we get ready to get on up at this thing, but as always, I want you to treat somebody how you want somebody to treat your mama, y'all. We at this thing. Peace.